Thanks for staying with us here at 7:30. We begin this half hour with teacher turnover. It has been a revolving door of educators in and out of North Carolina schools. You've been hearing about this problem, but the rate at which teachers are leaving may be higher than you even imagined. The latest State of the Teaching Profession report was released just this week, and it shows in 2023, more than 10,000 teachers quit their careers last school year. That is the highest turnover rate the state has seen in the last 2 decades. These departures accounted for 11.5% of the state's 90,000 traditional public school teachers. And remember, that's just 1 year alone. During the 2021-2022 school year, 7,200 teachers left their job. The year before, it was 7,700. We're talking about an obvious trend here, right, of teachers leaving. The report found that the turnover rate was highest among new teachers, with 1 in 4 leaving after their first year. Why is that?
A lot of people need a job, and so that's where they start. But that doesn't mean that education is what they're always committed to. And then some people come into the education arena and quickly realize that it's more work for a lot less money, and they're like, do I really want to be a teacher? Do I really want to do this?
Braxton Becoats has been a teacher for Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools for 6 years. He says the high turnover impacts the teachers who want to stay in the profession.
So the workload is about the same, but it is a lot more responsibility, because you know that if you have a guest teacher in your building or if you have a substitute, then you don't have to, but you should help them. And so I have to do my regular job and then sometimes help other people, whether they're substitutes or guest teachers, to learn the students, learn the education arena, learn how to teach in some instances, and that can be a lot of work.
Well, nowadays, districts are relying on those substitutes and guest teachers to help your kids make the grade. And a lot of them are being recruited from other careers. In fact, look at some of the numbers here. The number of teachers who took an alternate route to the classroom, more than 11,000 in 2023. That is up from about 6,700 the year before. So it goes to show teachers with experience are just hard to find. A large part of that has to do with pay.
I talk to teachers all the time who love what they do. They love their students. They want to stay in the profession. They want opportunities to advance in the profession without having to leave to go into administration. And we're trying to do that with our Pathways to Excellence program, which will create opportunities for teachers to earn more by doing more without having to become a principal. So I think there are some things that we can do to make the profession more attractive. Certainly compensation is one of those.
Now, under the new state budget, beginning teacher pay is set to increase from $37,000 to $41,000 over the next 2 years. That's a 10.8% increase. Teachers with 15 years or more of experience, they'll get a 3.6% raise over the next 2 years. So that's about $188 per month before taxes. Former state school board member James Ford says that's not enough.
Just in Charlotte, over the past 3 years, since 2020, the price of housing has gone up plus 40%. And so what does that do? What does a 3% raise over the course of a couple of years do to folks who occupy a profession as important as education? It's a slap in the face, and I think it ultimately is a meager effort in response to a really major crisis.
Well, this is a crisis that's impacting both of the Carolinas. South Carolina now has more open teaching jobs than ever before, according to a new report that found that the state teacher shortage is only getting worse. Our State House reporter, Mary Green, has more.
They're being denied access to the highly qualified educators they need to reach their academic potential.
As this graph shows, teacher vacancies in South Carolina have grown tremendously over the last few years. The number of open jobs at the start of this school year is up nearly 10% from last year and more than double what it was just 3 years ago.
This year, South Carolina schools did add some additional positions, but the number of vacancies outpaced that addition.
Vacancies in high-need areas like science, special education, and in school libraries have ballooned from just last year. while the number of international teachers with work visas in South Carolina classrooms has gone up significantly, too.
This is really more of a Band-Aid approach because the simple fact of the matter is that the laws and requirements on work visas means that these individuals cannot be a long-term solution to an educator shortage.
State Superintendent of Education Ellen Weaver is asking lawmakers in her budget request to raise the statewide starting salary for teachers again next year.
We have seen tremendous progress in getting South Carolina to the southeastern average over the last few years. We're going to continue to push that forward.
Weaver said the state should consider additional strategies to get and keep more teachers in the classroom, including extra pay for teachers who mentor younger colleagues, incentives for teaching in high-need areas, and part-time return options for educators who have left the profession.
There's a lot of things that we need to be looking at, but it's going to require an all-of-the-above strategy for sure because we're in desperate need of teachers.
Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Now, in South Carolina, a committee focused on the state's teacher shortage has released nearly 24 recommendations for turning this teacher shortage around. Meanwhile, James Ford says if something doesn't change soon in North Carolina, there will be consequences.
Most people love their public schools, but if they're not able to provide or make good on what the state constitution says they're supposed to do, the fallout will ripple into every industry, every sector, every field, because you are now unable to provide a critical resource to the lifeblood of a community.
An ongoing issue will continue to follow. We're on your side tonight with an update. We are now less than 3 days away from the total solar eclipse. We've been telling you about it for weeks now. We are waiting for the passage of the moon between the Earth and sun, blocking the sun's face. Millions of Americans want to catch a glimpse of this on Monday. Need the weather to cooperate. Meteorologist Rachel Coulter joins us now. Rachel, lots of people scrambling their travel plans right now, and those clouds are to blame.
Absolutely. Clouds are make or break. I have been watching the cloud forecast more than I care to admit, and we have an update for you. So if you're going to be staying local across the Carolinas, again, we will not see the total solar eclipse. You're going to have to keep those solar glasses on the entire time since there's still going to be a sliver of sunlight, and it's not going to get dark here, but certainly it'll be more like passing clouds, which I do think we'll have some of anyway. It'll be a mix of clouds and sun. We should have intervals, though, of sunshine, so hopefully that'll work just perfectly for that viewing around 3:11 here in the Charlotte area. But let's zoom it out. Let's say you're traveling in between those yellow lines. That's where you have the path of totality, where that sun's going to be completely covered by the moon. You're going to be able to take off those solar glasses in the peak moments there. But it looks like down towards Texas, and this has been the case for several days now, that it looks like you'll see mostly cloudy skies. Hopefully some of that low cloud cover, because it'll be a difference. If you just have some of the high, thin clouds, you should still be able to see it. It'll be a little obstructed, but the low cloud cover, could we get some of that to scour out? That's something that we're going to be watching for in Texas, but more clouds than sunshine, certainly the forecast at this point. Should see a little bit more sunshine northeast Arkansas, towards southern Illinois, Indiana, western portions of Ohio, eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, northwestern portions of New York, a little bit more cloud cover, and then you're cloud-free again to the north and east. And, of course, there's going to be some rain as well, especially just to the south and east there of the path of totality. And we have a low-end opportunity for a few showers here at home as well. And what's going to be interesting, if you are still going to be headed out towards Texas, severe threat materializes Monday night, again on Tuesday, and then that threat shifts east by Wednesday. We've got our own storm chances by Thursday. That same system that's going to be allowing for the rain, the clouds, the storms out towards the southwest will move over our area as well. When that moves in, what that looks like for the rest of our 7-day forecast. Straight ahead, Jimmy.
See you in a few minutes, Rachel. Thank you. A reminder, the QC Life team has you covered when it comes to all things eclipse. On Monday at 2:45, you can watch us for a special QC Life wherever you stream WBTV. We'll have live reports from across the area. We'll be talking to experts as the peak of the eclipse is approaching. Coming up next here on Your Side Tonight. Brings it home from downtown. I got a double ripple on that one. His voice is electric. How he was able to launch a career in sportscasting through faith and not sight.